I just keep hearing rethinking the move that they made. And now they're bracing themselves for what comes next. We're going to use the missing variables deck. And if this is for you, we're going to pull 5 cards because the last 5 days have some kind of significant meaning to you. They have been a catalyst. They have brought you to where everything shifts. This is your forward movement. You have the 9 of Diamonds. And you have the 4 of Diamonds, the buried evidence card and the conspiracy web. And I just keep hearing a narrative on the verge of collapse. The 3 of Hearts, betrayal unveiled. The Ace of Diamonds, which is the breaking the case. But it's a crucial lead that shatters the silence. A false narrative on the verge of collapse and rethinking the move that they just made, embracing themselves for what comes next. And if this is for you, I want to tell you, in the last 5 days, you have been moved into a position where you have the clarity, but it's like what it looks like outside of you is that the storm has now started to move through. And I just keep being taken back to like the eye of a hurricane. So like you're in the middle. Everything is clear. Everything is peaceful. You are unbothered because God is moving through you. The storm is truth. And it is taking out everything in its path that does not align. And that takes me back to Ashley at the Reckoning Co. sent me a picture last week. And it was this card that said final warning on it. There was a final warning in the energy issued. Kind of like, are you sure you want to make this move? Is this the route you really want to go? And now you have somebody rethinking and questioning the very move that they decided to make. The very narrative they decided to double down in. And the 5th card is the Joker card. It is literally truth and revelation. Uncovering the hidden truths. I want to tell you that your true power came in not abandoning yourself this time. And I want to tell you that you have their full attention now. You have their full attention and they are listening. And I want to tell you that the energy is saying that what they are about to witness is not an I told you so. It is the proof of how God moves through people and unwavering knowing. I want to tell you that the storm was never separate from you, but it was recognizing where you actually stood. It was recognizing that as truth moves through, as you stopped being the restriction, you created a ripple that could not be stopped. And as truth moves, it's taking everything out in its wake, is the way I want to say that. It is taking everything out in its wake. You refuse to back down because you recognize that the storm isn't there to destroy you. You, in fact, are the storm. And when you don't get caught up in the confusion, and I just keep seeing like a tornado, like the debris that's flying, it is everything that was at surface level being kicked up so what the truth that was under it could become uncovered. The second you stopped abandoning yourself, your true power was recognized. And in that moment, when the double down came, and the are you sure this is the move from the other side, you weren't going to waver no matter which move was made. Because you've already shifted, you've already stepped through the door, your new beginning has already happened, and you are already the proof of that. And if this is for you, I want to tell you to pause right now, and I want you to see how where you currently stand, although you're having to tie up loose ends, you have already started your next chapter. You have already solidified it. You already have things in your physical reality that have proved this over here. This has already been put to bed. This is the energy of never wavering in your knowing and choosing not to abandon yourself and not being sucked back down into the fear paradigm because you no longer care what people think about you. You understand that you are now letting truth move through you. And when truth moves through you, it often looks like a storm, a force to be reckoned with. While others are bracing for the blow that they know is coming, because truth cannot be stopped. And when you recognize that you were the own restriction in your own energy that was restricting the truth from coming out, and you stopped abandoning yourself, you stopped hesitating, and you stopped wavering, you became the storm because it was never separate from you. The things that you saw once as attacks and slander and character assassinations were never yours. That was what was on the surface level. That was the smoke and mirrors. That was the illusion. The truth was beneath. But it required you embracing your true power and becoming that own storm in your life to disrupt the illusions and the false narrative, which is all people can see on the surface, and to remove it out of the way. This is not an I told you so. This is proof of what happens when you refuse to waver. So if this is for you, the last 5 days have reached precipice today. This is your culmination point. The storm moved through slowly, but now it's intensifying, and you have others bracing for what comes next, because the truth was always in the eye of the storm, and you were always the eye, and God is moving through you. Doesn't need anybody else to believe in it, doesn't need anybody else to co-sign it, because who you are, who you know yourself to be, the truth that you embody, doesn't require anyone else co-signing it, because they will witness that truth in its fullest. Love you guys.